What is up, my peepholes? This is your guy, Cly, and welcome back to that thrifting series. Now, remember last week when I said I thought the lull was lifting? Yeah, about that. The floodgates have opened. I've actually found enough items in the last week that I'm going to break 30 minutes easy. I mean, I can go close to an hour with all the stuff I found. So, to keep it short, bye-bye fluffy butt, I am going to say, if this video gets 10 likes, let's just keep it behind a small like wall for now. If this video gets 10 likes, I am going to do a bonus episode next week. So, you'll be getting both the promised Best of Dumpster Diving special, as well as an additional thrifting video. And heck, I've got at least 2 more thrifting routes to hit this week. So since last week, I have hit quite a few thrift stores, gotten a lot of stuff, and I've still got more. So that's what's going to be happening. I'm going to leave it there for now and jump into the first item I want to show you. Now, what I have first is something I haven't thrifted in a long time due to mainly there just being a bit of a price hike in this stuff at my local thrifts. I'm talking about Nerf. It's gotten to where you can't find a good blaster for under $10 in a lot of cases. One store in particular has a minimum of $5 if you want a keyring Nerf gun. Anything above that, you're going to be paying like 12 or more bucks for one that is ratty and beat up. That's why I was really happy to find this guy right here. Pretty brand spanking new, if I might add. This is a 2015 release from the Doomlands, post-apocalyptic. The Doomlands series. This is the Vagabond. Aesthetically, it's in great shape. The only problem? The firing mechanism and cocking mechanism both jam quite regularly on this. It does work. It does still have a good kick when it does fire, but it jams. So I'm going to have to open it up and fix that. And quick aside, I love this line of blasters, not just because they have the clear bits where you can see the guts, but because it is based on a post-apocalyptic setting. The zombie stuff was okay with the Z series, but I've just got a weak spot for post-apocalyptic stuff, which is why I'm a big Fallout fan, and of course, throw into that another one of my favorite genres of fiction, being 1950s retrofuturism and its partner, Atom Punk. Not to be confused with Diesel Punk, but Atom Punk. Oh, that's such a great cocktail. Oh, and if you haven't noticed the price tag, my girlfriend actually is the one who picked this up for $2. So, yeah, it doesn't fire currently, consistently, but I've taken plenty of blasters apart and modified them, so it's not going to be a big deal. Now, I've got one more blaster that I'm going to show you from this week. You just dig it out right here. This is actually one that I can't believe it slipped through the clutches, for lack of a better term, of the store I got this at. It's nothing too special. It's just a Retaliator. Nice ice blue model with the clear clip. Both the barrel extension, let me just stretch that out there. The barrel extension and the stock. All of this was together, and I actually pulled this from the restocking cart. This had just been brought on the floor maybe a couple of minutes prior to me grabbing it. Kind of like the story of the camera I'm using, which, if you've not seen that, what was it? It was the Best of Tech, I think. Maybe. No, not the Best of Tech. That was when I was still using a cell phone camera. My most recent video, how about, yes, last week's video. I'm going to link that down below. Can you tell I'm running low on caffeine? And it's the middle of the night. Anyway, Retaliator. Clip. Barrel extension, grip, or stock, I should say. Let me just go ahead and pull the stock off because the stock has the price tag. That's right, it's another $2 grab. I got so lucky. Because like I said, well, actually no, this is from a completely different location in a completely different city. The cities are kind of jam-packed up here, so don't think I drive like hours and hours away. Even though I really would with some of the stuff I find you've seen in other videos and you'll be seeing in the future. But yeah. And I should also point out, let's see if I can get some, bye-bye, Kirk. Yes, I use soft tip darts, no hard tips, but it's got a really good shot on it. Now for something else neon colored, jump cut. That's right, it's an alarm clock. This is the Nickelodeon Time Blaster. Now, I've actually got a couple of these, and I am putting on my smarmy radio announcer voice just to go with the radio. I do not pass these by if they're a good price anymore. I've paid $4 for this one, $3 for my other one, and I know some of you are wondering why. It's because these are actually quite collectible. They fetch up to about $40 on an average day. It can go up to about $90 during the holiday season, so I'm not about to just pass these by. I don't flip often, but when I do, it's worth it. Yeah, sadly, I did let the matching phone slip through my fingers a couple years ago because I didn't know to grab these. And one of these days, I'm going to find the expanded version with more sound effects. That one's for me. Now, time for something a little bit different. Space Quest 1 from Sierra Games. DOS version, of course. This right here is a rarity for me. It is so seldom that I find some of the older games in this good of a condition, but it's even rarer to find them with the discs still inside. Somebody else usually gets to those before I do, and they don't want to pay the dollar. And of course, they're not collectors, they're just disc snatchers. I see you, disc snatchers. I do not approve. I wag my finger disapprovingly. But I found it. I found Space Quest. Oh gosh, it was starting to recognize that guy as a face. My detector's already circling Roger Wilco over here, but that one was popping up as a face. Not this guy. This one right here. Where has this thrifted camera been? Yeah, let's just go ahead and open it up. We've got our game manual here. Yep, that's a thing. That's a thing. And these are things. The nice 5 1/4 inch big old floppies. Sadly, at the moment, I do not have a computer that is ready to run this game. I do have 3 1/2 inch drives on a couple of my dumpster dived computers, but I do not have a 5 1/2. Nope, 5 1/4. There are so many fractions. 5 1/4 inch drive. Luckily for me, I thrifted this. And no, it is actually not a 3 1/2 inch floppy drive. Despite what the box says, this is the box that somebody bought a floppy drive in and then replaced something else. Something I like so much more. Here we go. Love that lever action. A 5 1/4 inch floppy drive. Sadly, I do not have the cable. I do not have this unique little cable right here. Does not use IDE, but it still uses Molex power, which is interesting. Fortunately, the connectors are about $3. I paid $3 for the drive, so I'd be out $6 total. And these go online for about $40, so I did good. This is going to be put to use for me, as long as the discs are still good, they didn't get demagnetized or didn't succumb to bit rot, because all media has a finite lifespan. You've been warned. Let's just put this back in. And now for something similar. I've got a lot more computer stuff to show you. No, okay, not a lot. I'm trying to cut it down a little bit, but off to the next item. I got another thing. This is the front panel portion of a Sound Blaster Audigy 2ZS system. Sadly, I only had the front panel when I thrifted this. I have since bought the PCI card that goes with this, and interestingly enough, I only paid a grand total of about $17. This is actually the expensive part. The audio card only cost me about $12. This goes online for $30, and I've seen the complete system sold for about $50, $40 to $50. So I'm out less than $20. So I did good. I paid less than half price. And if you're wondering why I got an old style PCI card to go into my system, well, first off, I have a singular PCI slot instead of just all PCIe. And two, this still has modern drivers. It's still supported up to Windows 7 64-bit, and people who record their instruments and live audio and things with really high quality mics love this stuff. From what I can tell, I will be getting a lot more use out of this with my Audio Technica mic that I thrifted in my Best of Tech episode than I will with one of these little guys. So hopefully, I will be getting some much higher quality audio when I finally get back to Let's Plays, whenever that does happen. Yeah, when will I be doing that? I'm getting so distracted with these thrifting videos, but don't worry, I'm not stopping this series because I enjoy it way too much. And I really am loopy. It's late at night. Time for more tech! Remember that thrift store I was talking about earlier that has gotten really bad about pricing their Nerf? Well, they're going down the same path for tech, too. They had a really old crap motherboard in the case for about $35. Since dropped it down to 20, and I think somebody picked it up on a half off day for 10. But they really wanted a lot for that, and they found themselves a Razer keyboard that they wanted $50 for, and that model has since been discontinued and no longer sells for that price, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to double check since I thrifted that exact model for $2 that I'll show you later. But I told you that story to show you this. I paid $1. They thought it was just a standard laser mouse. I paid $1. Remember that brand I told you they were charging $50 for? I have since looked this up, and recently, I mean within the past week or so, this exact model has sold in this condition, no box, nothing, for about $42. I'm not reselling it. I am a PC gamer, so I will be keeping this bad boy. And yeah, I haven't tested it yet though because I am a trackball man myself. But for a near $50 mouse that I paid $1 for, I think I'll take the time to try it out. In a similar vein, I have recently found this at a different thrift store. It is still a Goodwill, but it's on the same street. It's a weird section near my apartment where I have one street with 3 Goodwills, a Salvation Army, and a local no-name thrift within about 5 miles of each other down the same road. It's ridiculous. Now you see why I thrift so much. And yet I'm not in a bad area. But they've gotten really bad about thinking they know tech there as well. Ooh, and I mean bad. We're talking about over retail for karaoke mics that they think are much better than they are. It's sad state, really. So anything that they think is a HD camera tends to go in the case, and yet they let this little Logitech C10, I believe, or C310. Sorry, it's the C310. It doesn't say it on the tag. I had to look it up by the weird model number there. This is the Logitech C310 720p 60 FPS webcam. I paid $3 for this. Nope. Sorry, I take that back. I paid less because I had a 20% off coupon. So I paid less than $3 for this. And it still goes for about $30. I plan on breaking this out and trying it out. And who knows, maybe one day in the future I'll do face cam and I'd rather use a little 720p guy versus this 1080p video camera, not webcam, video camera that I am currently shooting with that I would have to run through an HDMI capture card, which at some point I need to break out of the box and do an unboxing of before I install it on my computer. Man, I'm easily distracted tonight. Off to the next item. All right, everyone. I saved my favorite from this thrift run for last. A rock. That's right, I bought a rock. Why did I buy a rock? Well, it's actually the reasons on the other side. Fossils. I love fossils. I paid $3 for this nice Orthoceras, well, set of 5 Orthoceras fossils. And what is an Orthoceras, you're wondering? It's these guys right here. They're conical sea dwellers. I wish I had an illustration. Look it up. Oh boy, I'm doing the voices. I'm getting loopy. But yeah, these are really, really nice. There's actually a 6th one right here, and I think on the back I saw another one right in here. There it is. So yeah, we at least have 5 really high grade fossils, well polished. I've seen stuff like this before. It's usually between $30 to $60 for one just this size right here. So the fact that I was able to snag one for $3, I didn't even think twice. It was just, I see, I grab, I go. Now I just need to find a stand for it so that I can put it on my shelf of weird but interesting things. And if I keep finding fossils, I actually might make a shelf of fossils. I think I'm going to call it there for this video. It's probably going to go a little longer than I anticipated. We'll see, because I've got a lot of cuts. I've been loopier than you've heard. So I'm not going to do a just the haul video for this week, because last time was an experiment. I got a lot of views on the video, but not much throughput traffic and not much interaction in the slightest. I got nice whopping 2% interaction versus just with likes about 20+% on the main video. So that's what tells me we'll be able to get those 10 likes for the bonus video next week. And if you want to give the video a little bit of extra help, feel free to share it. Feel free to check out the playlist if you're new to this series and new to my channel, because I've got a lot of cool stuff that's thrifted, not just the Nerf, which I know a lot of the new viewers are probably here to see. Just call it a hunch. And you know what? Feel free to leave a comment down below to let me know what other really neat stuff that either you thrift or you want to see if I can find. Because right now I mainly focus on board games, tech, toys. I may be missing out on something, so let me know. Until next time, this is your guy Cly, signing off.